That's right. We're doing this. Hello, everyone. It's 2023, and today we're doing something that, had I planned a little better, probably would have been my last video of the year. Instead, it's going to be my first. So we are going to go through not only my binders, but also my wife's binders, her SHINee and key binders. The majority of this obviously will be review if you've watched a few of my videos before, especially the Loona video I just posted a little bit ago. But if you're new to the channel, you'll get to see everything that I have, every bit of my collection, as well as what my wife has been collecting for the last year or so. I will do my best to kind of call out what everything is, but if I miss something and you want to know what it is, just feel free to leave a comment down below, and I'd be happy to answer it for you. So, we're just going to do this usually in the order that I always do it. I always start with my red velvet and Solgi binder, and then we'll go through the rest, and then at the end we will tackle my wife's collection. Okay, so first up we have my favorite girls. We have red velvet. If you're new to the channel, my bias in red velvet is Solgi. I collect Solgi pretty thoroughly, as far as album cards at least. I'm starting to branch out into a few other things that you'll see as we go through. But for the last year, I've only really been focused on her album cards and album inclusions. So starting off, we have her early cards. We have Ice Cream Cake, the red, and I'm missing the velvet, and we have Russian Roulette. Then we have Rookie and the red summer cards. Absolutely love this Rookie card. I think partly I love it even more because it took me so long to get it. I spent a lot of time on like Mercari Japan and Instagram trying to track this card down, so I'm very happy to have it now. Next we have her Perfect Velvet and Perfect Red Velvet cards. Solgi is the queen of sideways cards, if you can't tell. 3 of these 4, she is sideways. And then here we have 2 more sideways cards. We have the Summer Magic cards, including her limited card, and RBB. I do not tend to collect clear cards, so I do not have her clear card from this set. Then we move into Reva Festival. This page is for day 1. We have her Kino, her guidebook, and then this will eventually be both of the just normal album cards. And obviously I love this Kino card. Kino cards are very hard to collect if you've ever tried to. And then we have Reva Festival Day 2. I absolutely love her Raincoat card, but these are no Kino cards for this one. It's just her, I believe this is the guidebook and then the 2 normal photo cards. And then we move into Finale. So as you saw, I'm missing Glitter Tears, but I do have the rest of her cards for this album. Now we have both Queendom and Feel My Rhythm. I'm a big fan of when Solgi had orange hair, both for this era and also back for Russian Roulette. So you can imagine these are a couple of my favorite cards in this collection. And now we move into her subunit cards with Irene and Solgi. So these are, I believe, top note, middle note, and then bass note. And then I also collected her units, which would also be top note, middle note, and bass note. Then there's 28 Reasons, which despite having just come out recently, I'm doing pretty well on. I'm only missing 2 cards. I'm missing one of her photobook cards and one of her case cards. Everything else I managed to get pretty easily between buying and trading, especially in the special version. So that should be something I'm able to finish pretty soon this year. And then lastly, we have Birthday, which I don't have any cards for yet. Probably by my next drawing video, I'll have 1 or 2 of these to put away. And then finally, in album cards, we have her Japanese cards. I have incredible Solgi luck when it comes to her Japanese cards. Every one of these were natural pulls from my albums, so I consider myself very lucky in that regard. And then this last section is going to be more like merch cards as well as some larger inclusions. So we have her 2 Seasons Greeting cards from 2021, as well as 2 cards from the Seasons Greeting pack, the merchandise pack for 2022. We have 3 holo cards. We have Summer Magic, Queendom, and Feel My Rhythm. And then this is her merch card for the 8th anniversary, and that card actually goes with these 2 lucky cards. And then finally we have 2 pre-order benefits. This is the Yiju pre-order benefit for Feel My Rhythm, and then this is a Mumo card from 28 Reasons. Next we have this little receipt from the Reva Festival Finale edition, the scrapbook version. We also have the message postcard, also from Finale, but this is from the, I think it's just called the Finale version. I would call it like the case version now that that's like a thing at SM, but it's just the Finale version. It's got this message postcard. I have 2 postcards from their 7th anniversary fan meet interview volume 7. Again, I love Orange Hair Solgi. And then lastly, we have the 2 postcards also from the 2022 Seasons Greeting merch pack. And that is the current state of my Solgi collection. Next, we move on into the rest of Red Velvet. I'm not a full group collector, but I do collect a few sets. I currently have a couple, and I'll hopefully get a few more as the year goes on. So first off, we have, this is the ice cream cake set. And then we have Russian roulette. And then I just started this set, which will be one of the Red Summer sets. I have a rule when it comes to collecting the full sets that I cannot start collecting all of the other members until I have the Irene, and I recently was able to acquire her for a pretty good price, so I will be starting this set very soon. And then the rest of these are mostly what I just pull from my albums, with the exception being some of the Wendy's. If you see a Wendy, I probably bought it aftermarket or traded it for reasons. I don't know. Wendy's my second favorite in Red Velvet, so sometimes if I can't get a Solgi in a trade, I'll grab a Wendy. Then, speaking of which, we have Wendy and Joy's solo album cards. I recently got Joy's photobook version of her Hello album, and I was very lucky to pull this very cute heart glasses card. And actually, this was the card I wanted from my case version when I bought that in 2021. Then these are one of the 2 cards from the 2021 Seasons Greetings. I actually bought that Seasons Greetings that year, so that's why I have all of these cards. I think these backs are just amazing. I'm a big fan of backs, and although I got rid of the light blue cards, I thought these black cards were just also nice, so I decided to keep them. Then this is where things get a little messy, because we have Joy's Hello Polaroids. But then we also have a Solgi Polaroid, also from the Seasons Greetings merch drop. We have this Irene trading card from Queendom, a Wendy bookmark from Feel My Rhythm. And then these, as I stated when I was in Solgi, these are the receipts from the Reva Festival Finale scrapbook version. I spent a little time this year after the reprints of the scrapbook version trying to collect these because I think they just look so nice. I love all their outfits. And now I have them. Then we have a few mini postcards from the Irene and Solgi Monster album, as well as a couple from Queendom. And lastly, we have this Wendy merch postcard from Ice Cream Cake. And on the back side, we have the pre-order benefit I got from CD Japan for my Bloom album. So that's it for the Red Velvet binder. As far as my plans for collecting in the coming year, obviously, to the best of my ability, I would like to finish Solgi's album cards and grab a couple more full group sets, but a lot of that is dependent on just whether or not I can find them. Obviously, Glittered Hair Solgi is very difficult and very expensive. And like I said, with the full group cards, Irene is also an impediment on that. So we'll see how well I do on that. But that's basically that's basically what I'm planning to do for 2023 as far as this collection goes. It's in a pretty good spot, I have to say, although this binder is increasingly very full. All right, moving on. Next we have my Loona binder. And I'm going to apologize in advance because some of this I will probably repeat myself a little bit if you watched my reorganizing binder. It's just sort of inevitable. But if you're new to the channel, this will all be new to you. So to start off, I would like to get a cover page for this binder in the not too distant future. I think this page works as like a nice cover, but I'd like something separate, kind of like what you saw on my Solgi binder with the stickers and what have you. The first page of this, we actually have the Loona Studio Polaroids. I have both Kim Lip's 2 Polaroids as well as Jinsol. The majority of this binder is Kim Lip, but there are a few other members in here. And then these stickers are just from an Etsy artist that I just put in here to fill the space. And then we move into the solo and subunit section. So we have all 4 of Kim Lip's cards from her solo album, as well as the 2 unit cards with Jinsol from the Jinsol and Kim Lip album. And then we have Odd Eye Circle. There are actually 4 sets of cards for this. There's what they call normal and limited. I only have the normal because if you know anything about Loona collections, those limited cards can go for some kind of crazy prices. But I absolutely love this top set where they're each wearing dresses for their representative color. I think they're so pretty. And then on the back, I've put their group cards for each one. After that, we move into full group cards. As you can see, I'm missing a couple albums worth of cards, Plus Plus and XX. Hopefully I can get Plus Plus sometime in the next year. But I do have the hash set here. I did manage to get that complete this year. Then we move into the eras where they have, instead of 2 cards, they have 12, because 2 cards was clearly not enough. So as you can see, I'm missing quite a few, but I'm hoping to fix that in the coming months. This is from the 12 o'clock or midnight era. The way they set this up is they do 3 cards per version. There's 4 versions, so there's version A, B, C, and D. As you can see, I only have 5 of the 12. And I think my favorite card from this era is probably this one, where you can see her Converse. I think I just like the contrast between a more formal dress and some very casual sneakers. I think it's just very cool. Then we move into the And era. I'm doing much better on this one. I'm only missing 3 cards, and in fact I think I have one of these that I will be storing next time I do a storing video. These are all pretty good, but for whatever reason I think this card might be my favorite. I just think the way her hair is, the outfit, I think it's all just great. Then we have Flip That, my one set that I have every card for. Honestly, I think all of these cards are just so beautiful. They're all very different. And of course, we have some really awesome pink hair on Kim Lip in this era. I'm a broken record on this. I say it all the time. This card with her earrings is almost certainly my favorite. I just think it's so pretty. But most of these cards, I would say, are just so very pretty. And then we have the AR card on the back. After this, we have Japanese cards. As you can see, I'm doing pretty well on that, missing a couple that I should be able to get very soon. They only have 2 Japanese albums. They have Hula Hoop, and then there are 4 cards for their second album, Luminous. And that is it for album cards. Now we move into some of the concert cards, the season's greetings, a bunch of different things. So this is from their, what they called the Premiere Greeting Meet and Up. And then this is one of my absolute favorite sets. This is the Hash Showcase set. And then probably the concert set I spent the most time on this year. This is the Looniverse From concert set. And I spent the most time trying to get this Kim Lip with the Moomin ornament. And although I did spend the most time on this, I actually think my favorite card was actually the cheapest, which is this unit she has with Vivi. They're just so pretty. It's such a cute card. And on the back we have Jinsol. which I realized as I was kind of looking through this, even the card I'm missing, you can only see one eye. She's winking in all the other three, and then she has an eye patch on the other one. And I just think that's kind of funny. It's the One Eye Jinsol set. Next, we have a few cards from their World Tour from over the summer. I have Vivi, Kimlip, Jinsol, and Eve. And honestly, I think this year I'm going to spend a little bit of time trying to just get the rest of the members. I think it'll look really good on these 6-pocket pages doing a front and back layout. And they're not very hard to come by these days, so I think it'll be pretty easy. And here's the most recent concert. This is their concert in Seoul. There are 6 Kimlip cards plus a unit. And honestly, I think I have all of these to put away for next time. So this page will look very different after my next storing video. Now we're into Season's Greetings. I have her 2021 and 2022 Season's Greetings. Then we have the Orbit Fan Club cards. Most of these, as you can see, I have like a lot of the other members. That's because I was in Orbit for 2021, so I got the full set of cards. There was no card for 2020, and then I picked up in the aftermarket her... Wait, no. There was no cards for 2019. This is her 2020 card. These are 2021. And then this is her 2022 card. And then the rest of these are just kind of a miscellaneous mishmash of different things. Here's a concert card from... Which one is this? This is the And Showcase. This is the Midnight Festival Showcase. We have a merch card from Wonderwall and 2 other merch cards from Idolstein. And then this last page are a couple of pre-order benefits. This is from, I believe, that's And era. Nope, Midnight. It's from Midnight. And then flip that. This is from Make Star. And this is, I believe, MMT. It just says Orbit Ring, but I'm pretty sure it's an MMT card. Then we have, this is a With Drama round 2, I believe. It's either 2 or 3, but I believe it's 2 for the And album. And then this is the other part of the Wonderwall drop that I had the card for. This is just a little film strip. And then this last part will just be other members that I've pulled in albums. So we have Yojin from Plus Plus, Yojin and Eve from Midnight, and then Eve and Chu from the And album. And then lastly, I have a set of AR cards and album pulls from Flip That, Yojin, Vivi, and Eve. And that will be it for the cards. Just a couple other things I have in here. I have these little, they're like plastic tickets for various album showcases they've done. So we have the Premiere Greeting Meet and Up. We have the Hash Showcase, and then we have the Midnight Festival Showcase. There are a few others that I'd like to get, especially from around this same like debut, full group debut era. Those are specifically the Odd Eye Circle unit tickets. They're not as available as some of these other things. Honestly, none of these things are very common, but they are particularly uncommon and sought after. So we'll see if I even manage to get them. And then lastly, we have Kimlip's first anniversary Lightstick postcard, as well as one of the postcards from the Everline merch drop. And that is my Loona binder. As far as goals for the coming year, I've said it a couple times, I'm hoping to get some of these bigger albums like Midnight and the And album complete as far as album cards. I'd like to finish the Japanese album cards and maybe even a couple other things like the Lightstick cards and things of that nature. But Loona and Kimlip is in a pretty good spot, I must say. All right, and now my last binder is just kind of mostly Twice, but also just kind of a miscellaneous girl group cards. So we start off with the Twice section. I have a lot of her early stuff done. So we have A Story Begins, Page 2, Twice Coaster Lane 1 and Lane 2, These holo cards are just amazing. I wish they had done more of those over the years because these TT cards are just fantastic. But I will say the one thing I don't like about early Twice cards that you can start to see is the backs are pretty inconsistent, especially when you look at something like Signal. We've got a set of 4 cards and they're just all different. That's one thing that they changed as time went on that I really appreciate. Now, like I said, we have Signal cards. I don't know that any of these are particularly like a favorite, but I do love the back on this holo signature one. I just think the little character of Momo is super cute. Then we have Twice-togram, which I have all the cards for and an extra one because I really love this Sana card with the Twice-togram honey. It's super cute. And I do love that the backs are like little Instagram posts. Next there's What is Love? And then Dance the Night Away, or Summer Nights, I guess is the name of the album. And I even have a couple extra cards for J-Line. Now we have Yes or Yes, and you'll start to see a pattern with how I organize things, which is I like to do kind of sets on the top and bottom. So you see I have 2 very similar cards. She's in the same outfit. These are both like music video cards. Then we have Fancy. And I'm only missing 1 card from the set that I'll be getting. We move into More and More. I don't have any Feel Special cards yet. That's why we've just totally skipped that. I just haven't made it a priority to get. But we have 3 More and More cards. And then we move into Eyes Wide Open. The flower set is just so pretty. And then Alcohol Free. And Formula of Love. And lastly, we have their most recent comeback Between 1 and 2. With Peach Momo. Very cute. And I even got I believe this is this with Mew? Yeah, with Mew pre-order benefit because it's holo, and holo is cool. Then we have, this is from the last year's season's greetings, which unfortunately does not have Jung Yun, so we're missing a member, but the bright side, if you can call it that, is that it does fit nicely on an A5 page. Then these are a couple lucky draw cards from their recent exhibition in Korea, Together 1 and 2. I should be getting the second Momo one soon, and I'll figure out what to do with this extra space next to Sana. Then we have a couple of the business cards from Eyes Wide Open. I have Chaeyoung because that's what I pulled. We have some Taste of Love inclusions, the lenticular card, as well as the Target exclusive bookmark. The Taste of Love tasting card, and on the other side we have the crosscode card from Between 1 and 2. And then finally, these were a couple larger things I got from my Formula of Love album. We got Junghyun and then the Target Sana postcard. As far as what I want to do with this Twice collection, it's kind of like everything else. I would like to wrap up to the best of my ability the missing album cards. I'm not really looking to expand into other kinds of inclusions at this time, although there are a few things like I would love the Barnes & Noble postcard for Between 1 and 2, and the Momo Lightstick card. There's a couple other random things out there, but mostly this is going to be an album card collection. All right, and then this next section is kind of a miscellaneous. We start off with Yukika. These 4 cards are from her Time About album. There's the Time Light version on the front and the Time Blue version on the back. I also have most of the photo slides that came from these albums, but I have not put them in yet because I'm still waiting to get the last one. Then the next few are postcards, also Yukika for Time About. I see these listed as pre-order postcards. I don't know if they're pre-order benefits from a specific retailer or if it's more like some of the twice pre-order cards where they're just included in like the first press of the album. That's never really clear to me, but I guess what matters is I have them now, so it doesn't really matter what they are. Then we just have like literally miscellaneous people. I have 2 cards from aespa's Girl album. These are both digipack cards. I have this Baekhyun Famicom controller card from his City Lights solo album. I'd like to get the second one, and then those can just sit nicely as like a 2 set. This is the 1 album card from EXID's Eclipse album. And then I have 2 SHINee cards that I pulled from my copy of Walpurgis Night. And then these last things, I should probably organize a little better because it's just kind of all over the place. We have a boarding pass for Yukika from her Soul Lady album. I have a bookmark from the Wuju Sonyo Unnatural album. I pulled Da1. And then I also have some photos also from Yukika's Soul Lady album. All right, and this last part is the newest section. This is the Wuju Sonyo and Sola section. Sola is the member I collect from Wuju Sonyo / Cosmic Girls. So we have a few cards. This is from their debut album, Would You Like? This card is from their Dream Your Dream album. And then this is her unit with the member Da Young from Unnatural. Then I have 4 of her 5 album cards from their most recent album, Sequence. And then 3 of the 4 unit cards, also from that album. I'm just missing her unit with Subin. And then finally, these are just a few members that I pulled from my album. We have Exi and Youngjun from Unnatural, and Unso, and the unit of Exi and Bona from their WJSN The Black album. So, as far as what we're going to be doing with that kind of miscellaneous and the Cosmic Girl section moving forward, I'm taking a pretty slow approach to Cosmic Girls. You know, I have a suspicion they're going to have a comeback in the next few months, so I will probably grab those new cards as they come out, as well as maybe a few others if people are trying to sell off their collection. It's not a huge priority for me, so I'd rather spend my time focusing on the other people that I have binders and binder sections for, so don't expect that to grow too much too quickly. Okay, and for this last part, we're going to do something that we've never actually done before. If you've watched any of my photocard haul videos, you've seen snippets of my wife's collection, but never actually the whole thing, because she tends to put her photocards away on her own time, whereas I wait and do it for the whole world to see. And since I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to SHINee, she has graciously agreed to walk through the binder herself. So this time, there shouldn't be any misinformation.
All right, hello everyone. Kind of got a new thing going here. Gonna try this out and share my collection with you guys. As Jeff mentioned, if you watch some of his haul videos, you might have seen a few of the cards I collect. I collect mostly key from SHINee. So here are my 2 binders. The first binder here is my key collection, while this second one here on the right is my other SHINee cards and just actually all my other cards in general. So to get started, let's start with the key binder. So here we have my composition notebook that I luckily picked up when we were in Korea earlier this year. Kind of see the setup here. I have a cover sheet that I created using some of my favorite images from their 2018 fan meeting. And then you can kind of see the way I have my binders set up with little dividers that kind of break up what the cards are. So the first section here is my Korean card collection. I've also have labels that kind of show what I'm missing. So I'm just kind of going to go over the cards that I do have, and obviously ones that are missing, you can just read the labels for. So the first page here, I have the Sherlock card, the Dream Girl Misconception of You card, as well as one of the Why So Serious Misconceptions of Me card. You see I'm missing the other two cards from that series of albums. But I do have the Everybody card and the Odd Version A card. I have to say this card is probably one of my favorite of the Korean cards. I really enjoy the blue hair and also just the blue shirt with it looks really awesome. Moving on, we have my saddest page, which is completely blank. I do finally have the Married to the Music card on the way. That's what these little hearts indicate. This is just a hard section to collect in general. I think they're some of the most sought after cards and there just isn't a lot out there. So just taking my time with that, waiting for decent prices. The next page here is the Story of Light. So we have episode 2, episode 3, and then I have one of the epilogue cards. I do have the other one on the way. And that actually helped me complete one of my 2022 goals, which was to complete everything from Story of Light onward before SHINee have their comeback in 2023. So that is now complete, which is exciting. I also love the backs of these cards. I just love the numbering of it. Next page here is the Don't Call Me cards. I have the fake reality, jewel case, and the AR card. There is the phone card, but I'm not planning to collect that one because I like this 4-pocket setup. And then for the next page at the top here, we have the 2 Atlantis cards. And then for last year's SMCU Express, I do have the ID card as well as one of the photo cards. Since both of Key's cards look pretty much the same, I just kind of decided to collect one card. I went in thinking it'd be easier to get the SHINee card, but actually it was much easier to get the SM Town card, so that's the one I have. As for the new SMCU album, I'm kind of waiting to see what everything looks like and kind of make a decision at that point on what, if any, things I will be collecting. Also, right now, these are kind of in the SHINee section, and if it seems like this might be a new thing going forward, so I might move that somewhere else in my binder in the future. All right, and so that comes to the next section here, which is the Japanese photo cards. So I do collect all of the Japanese photo cards, mainly because I already found that I have to do a lot of my purchasing on Mercari or Rakuten or Rakuma anyway, because that's where SHINee cards are just more readily available. And so you can get a lot of Japanese cards for really good prices. So I have the Lucifer single album, the first, as well as one of the Sherlock Japan cards and the Dazzling Girl card. The other two are on the way, so I'm very excited to have another full page. Next, moving on, I have the card for Fire. This is Boy Meets You single, Boy Meets You full, as well as 321. This is probably one of my all-time favorite Japanese cards. I just love that it's black and white and is kind of like a magazine editorial. I don't know, I just find that really cool. Moving on, I have the Lucky Star card as well as I'm Your Boy. And then moving on to the newer cards, are a little harder to find for a good price, so I don't have as many. But I have the DDD card, as well as I was able to trade for one of the Superstar cards when that came out last year. So other than that, that's kind of all I have at the moment for Japanese cards. And then next, moving on to section is my Key solo card. Here I have all 3 cards from Face, as well as one of the I Wanna Be cards, with the second one here on that page. It's kind of unfortunate that they don't end up on the same sheet, but well, what can you do with a 3-card setup? So at this time, I'm not collecting the Keynotes for I Wanna Be, but that's always up for debate in the future once I get further along with everything else. Next, we're moving on to the Bad Love cards. I put the box set first since it was 3 cards. And I also really like how, even though they're not from the same card, they're both kind of blue cloud sky, so I thought that looked really nice together. Then we have the Bad Love Space Ray cards and the Bad Love booklet cards. It's been taking me a while to get these cards. They're fairly hard to come by for a decent price, but I think I'm doing pretty well. Next, we are move on to the gasoline cards. So I've done much better with this collection. I have the booklet chapter 1 cards, booklet chapter 2 cards complete. I also have the floppy version complete and the VHS actual photo cards complete. The only thing I'm missing is one of the collector cards, but I do have the other 2. Hopefully I can come by that soon. My original goal was to have gasoline complete before the repackage, which sounds like it will be sometime this January, but who knows? So maybe I can still make that goal. All right, the next section here is kind of other album items. This would be the section I might consider moving my SMCU cards to. So the first thing I have is the cute little bookmark from Everybody. I really always love the big hats, so I'm a sucker for this little bookmark. And then here is one of Key's 2 Heart cards. Wasn't really planning on collecting that, but it came as part of a really good set that I found on Mercari, so I have that for now. I might collect the other one in the future, but we will see. Next, I have the Dakchi from 1 of 1, since that is the only member-specific inclusion they had. I have one of the postcards from the Superstar member version, as well as one of the set of collect cards from Bad Love. I would eventually like to get the other 2 sets, but it's pretty low priority. I have one of the postcards from the Space Ray version, as well as some postcards from the booklet version. Next are the collect cards for Gasoline. I'm very glad there was only 1 set this time and not 3 sets, as well as a couple of the postcards from the booklet version. And then next is the very last section in this binder, which is kind of my special merch cards. So the first page here is my holo cards. This Key Story of Light holo card is actually the first photo card I ever got back before, gosh, probably even a full year before I started collecting, just because I just love the styling of that era, and I did not manage to pull him in any of my albums, and so I was sad and bought that card. And so then I also have the 2 holo cards for Bad Love, as well as just one of the ones from Gasoline. I just collect which ones I like the most. And then moving on here, these merch cards are mostly random because I either like the merch or like the card. So this first one here is the card from the Jinro pin collection for Bad Love. This one is Grox and the Keyland AR ticket set. And these 2 down here are from the 2022 Season's Greeting pack. I then also have the 14th anniversary lucky card from this last time, as well as the card from the Gasoline Jinro badge set. Then I have just the AR ticket from Grox and the Keyland and the Polaroid from the Season's Greeting pack, as well as the postcard from the Story of Light holo card. Then here, which you saw on my cover, my favorite images, which are the SHINee 2018 fan meet that they did. Here's the 3rd one. Then we have some postcards from the other holo cards, including this one. This postcard is from the AR ticket set, and this is from the Gasoline holo card. And then finishing up here with the 2022 Season's Greeting pack postcards. That's kind of my full collection at this time. I'm hoping just to finish up and complete more before the next year. And with that, that's my key collection, and next I'll be moving on to my other binder. All right, now moving on to my second binder. As you can see from the cover, this is my SHINee binder, and it also includes just pretty much any other card I have from any other album I own. So let's get started. This is a cover I made with using one of the images from Married to the Music, which I just think some of the graphics from that comeback are just so fantastic. So this here is mostly my album pulls that I got in all my SHINee albums. I weirdly pull people in sets, as you see. So I have the Misconception of Us, I have an Onyu card, as well as For Everybody. And then for Odd and Married to the Music, I pulled Jong's cards. This Married to the Music card is just like a fantastic card. I do want to collect a few sets kind of similar to Jeff, but I also have a similar rule where he has to wait to find an Irene card. I have to wait to find a Temin card for a good price before I start. And luckily, not that long ago, I did finally find the Odd version A Temin card. So next time I'll hopefully have that full set complete, since I'm just showing this on these kind of mid or end year collection videos. As well as eventually I'd love to get the full Married to the Music set, because I just think those cards are fantastic. And then here is my Everyone Thinks I Collect Minho era. I used to joke before I started collecting that if someone saw that they would just think I was a Minho stan, which I do love Minho, but it's just kind of funny. I managed to pull him 4 times in a row for both 1+1, EP2, EP3, and the epilogue for Story of Light, which I bought all those albums at different times from different stores in different countries. So that's just kind of one of my funny stories I have. Next are all the group cards from Story of Light that I pulled. And then we have my Don't Call Me phone card. I pulled Onyu's, which I'm just planning to keep at this point. I might consider trading it to the group card because I think that one's really awesome, and I don't really have a space for it in my key binder. I pulled this awesome Temin card in Atlantis. I know a lot of people wanted that, and it's super cute, so I will be keeping that. This is the Shining World Beyond Live brochure. I pulled Onyu's card, and I wasn't planning to do anything with it for a while, but in the last couple of months, I've been considering trying to see if I can find a trade for a key card. I know that's probably impossible because that brochure came out so long ago, but you never know. And then here is Minho's little bookmark from Everybody. I also have the Onyu and Key postcard from the Don't Call Me Fake Reality, as well as the Minho and Temin's from the reality version. The next section here is my SHINee solo section. As you can see, I have a little cover with Onyu, Jong, and Temin. Now that we have Minho, I'll have to revise that, but I'm really excited to update it. If only I had my albums by the time we're filming this, because I do not yet. They're still in the mail. All right. For SHINee solos, I buy one version of the album and keep just the card I get. So I have a card from Voice and a card from Dice. The one exception to that rule here is the Onyu Uno cards, because I just think that's a really cool concept. So I have 2 of them, and I'm kind of just looking for the other 2. These are super low priority, but I would love to finish that by the end of 2023. Next here I have Jonghyun's cards. I just have She Is and the OP2 card at this point. I still need to get a copy of Base, honestly. And then just to fill out this page, since he only has 3 albums with cards, I was thinking of getting one of the other OP2 cards. Moving into the Temin section, which is complete. So I have Ace, Press It, Move, Moving. I have Want, Never Gonna Dance Again Act 1, Never Gonna Dance Again Act 2, and Advice. I love this green sweater card and I really wanted it, and luckily I managed to pull that card. Next are kind of Temin's other inclusions. I have the standee from Want, the postcard from Move, as well as the film strips from Act 1 and Act 2. And then I just currently have right here my little AR voice card from the little Tamari and Kungi stuffed animal just hanging out here because I got nowhere else to keep it. And then that's it for the SHINee solos for now. And then the next section is just everything else, aka just other SM boys, because I don't really own any other albums. So the first page here are my Super M cards. Luckily for their first mini album, I pulled Temin's card, which was fantastic. And then the second version, I got the Temin and Taeyong set, so I got their unit card. And then I also, while I didn't get Temin, I luckily pulled this super cute Baekhyun Froggy Raincoat card, and I just think that's super adorable. So glad I have it. And then the last page here is everyone else. I have a unit card from the EXO SC 1 Billion Views, because I just really love that album. Then I have a Geno card from NCT U Empathy, probably my all-time favorite NCT album. And then from the Resonance Part 2 NCTU album, I have a Mark photocard and a Haechan ID. And that's pretty much all my whole collection of cards at this time. Hope you enjoyed, and thank you.
All right, well, I think that's going to do it for both of us today. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks again to my wife for volunteering to walk through her binder so that I don't have to fumble around like a dummy. And thanks again to all of you for all your support over the last year. I didn't know how many people would actually watch these videos when I started in the middle of 2022, but I am very happy with everyone who comes in and watches and comments, and I look forward to many more in the coming year. I will just end by saying that I'm thinking about doing other kinds of content in the future. I have a few other collections, whether it's pins or even the little figures you might have seen on my desk. So, you know, let me know in the comments if that's even something that's interesting to you. I might do it regardless, but I'd love to know what people think. Anyway, that's going to do it for today. Happy New Year, happy collecting, and until next time, so long.